Greetings everyone, this is Chris here from Woodsman Spirit channel. Happy New Year 2021. Hope this is going to turn into a much more stable and better and healthy year than 2020. So I'm just going to give you a little update on where things are with me and my family up here. So as you may remember, the 3 winters we've been living in this trailer. Back here so you can see the depth of the snow here. We're living in this trailer for 3 winters while we've been focusing on trying to get a log house built. So yeah, just a regular 24-foot travel trailer. And built a small log shed there. The time I affectionately call the love shack. The reason for that is that it could be miserably cold at night in the trailer, so I built this 12 by 8 foot shack on the back. And the step down in to get in the door, I actually have to step down a snowbank here. I don't know if you can see in here, but it's yeah, you can just see that big old wood stove in there. It takes 2-foot logs. It's all Tyvek'd out inside. It's a simple light in the ceiling, and that was built with the purpose to store tools and chainsaws and wet clothing in and provide some heat to dry things out, and it did a very good job. We used to open the back window, the bedroom window of the trailer, and the heat from the wood stove, which would sometimes heat this shack up as high as 50 degrees centigrade, that would flood into the bedroom of the trailer and keep us alive. Yeah, so far this winter it's not been terribly cold. I don't think it's been anywhere near -10 yet. Most days at the moment it's only maybe -2, -1. Unseasonably warm, but we've had quite a lot of snow. But I can celebrate the fact and that I've actually completed my apprenticeship of this kind of living, and we're no longer living in this trailer, in this log house. So I'm still doing 7 days a week carpentry in there, but at least I've got heat in there and last running water and 1 toilet for sanitation after 3 years of using 5-gallon chemical toilets, which, as you probably have heard me say in the past, required regular emptying up the hill into a cesspit, even at -35 centigrade and sometimes in 2 feet of snow. So I'm not crying about that. Very happy to have the novelty of a flushing toilet. Sounds crazy to say that someone gets excited by a flushing toilet, but it's one of the greatest inventions on the planet as far as I'm concerned. So I'm just going to take you a little further up, so bear with me. So here I'm standing on the northern gable of the house. So I'm just going to turn this around so you can get an orientation on where things are. Yeah, so that's the front deck. That comes out of our kitchen area. And as you've got no gutters on the roof, so couldn't get that done before winter. Got all the logs treated, sanded by hand with a 4-inch angle grinder and treated every single inch of these logs, and I've got a temporary area for my log pile, which is there. Yep, that's actually logs under there. So we do get a lot of wind here, so it tends to, as you can see, I've had to dig out these dry spruce. Well, I've probably got 3 cords of wood under there, but better than the arrangement last year, which was climbing up on that stack of tree trunks up there and risking life and limb with a chainsaw, so I don't have to do that anymore. That's good. And there's a beloved luggable loos and hanging on the wall. And here's the rear of the house. It's roughly 56 feet long. We have dovetail joints. Sanded all the end of those off so that the grain stands out on them. I actually have a cable, you can just about see it there, a white cable coming out of the gable. I mean, eventually I want to get this house onto solar panels and alternative technologies, but for the time being we have to survive by using BC hydro electricity. So I started to chink some of these logs. It's a terrible job. It's incredibly boring and the stuff isn't all that easy to use, but again, it's too cold to do anything like this outside, so I've just nailed in temporary strips in there just to make sure no draft gets through into the house. And with my small tractor, I use the front loader to scrape out an area of about 70 feet long here by maximum 30 feet wide, which would be like a rear garden area, fire pit and all that kind of stuff. I run off a gravity fed septic field, which actually didn't get finished until I think it was December we finished. So that's as you can see, there's been an area over there cleared, so we have to we chose an area where there's wasn't too many healthy trees, so to minimise the destruction of the forest here. And we have gravity fed septic system, which is far preferable to electric pumps. Okay. So here's the rear prospect of the house. That face east, so it catches the sunrise. Looks small from here, but because it's level entry, whereas the basement is on the bottom of a slope, and you just see the sunset coming in the sky now. It's quite windy today, but not really cold. So yeah, we coming close to the end of the project. I have a large wood stove on order because I'm no fan of using forced air central heating. Doesn't really make sense up here with the huge volume of quality firewood either. You know, plus the fact I enjoy cutting firewood, as you well know. But the size of stove and the efficiency of the stove will probably mean that even down to 25-30 I probably won't be having the furnace kick in very often, which is good because I resent spending huge amounts of money on propane. And we have a propane range in the house, which my wife's a big fan of. She's wanted one of these Wolf ranges for years. She loves to cook and entertain, so you know, I bless her on that one. She deserves it. I have as you can see, there's a small chimney poking out the roof there, that's from the small wood stove I put in the basement last year. Too small really, but it's quite efficient. But what that does is it's kept the mould down last year, because for a while we're trying to live in the basement and had a hell of a problem with mould. It's wonder we're still alive, but it's helped dry things out, and it actually puts a bit of heat through the floor and has some impact on the amount that the heating comes on. So yeah, at some point I want to talk a bit about buying a property like this with trees, if trees are your thing, and I want to talk about the species here and why it's a pretty good choice of property. I also want to talk about some of the challenges of buying a decent piece of land to develop a home on, because like most people, you go into these things thinking you've done a lot of research, but in actual fact you're on a bit of a learning curve, I can tell you that for sure. And I'm not saying I'm an expert in this kind of thing, but I have a lot of outdoor experience over the years, and I've lived in rural properties before, but this is being on another level for sure. Yeah, so just while I'm up here in the heavily treed area of the property, this is an area where there's predominantly Douglas fir, which in this part of Canada is the preferred firewood. Although I must admit I do like birch as well, but there's more Douglas fir here. But while in this area, I just want to show you can probably see on some of these trees over here. Yeah, you can see trail tape on some of these trees here. Well, my plan in the next week or two is to ring back some of these trees, which is a process which will kill these sick trees or stunted trees, so that once we get into summer I can fall them, and then the sap will have bled out of them. When the sap bleeds out of a tree, it helps the wood dry more quickly, and means that you're going to end up with it as usable firewood much more quickly. So again, when you buy a property like this should take a lengthy piece of time to look at your resources in terms of trees, assess the ecological value of it, and ask yourself the question, can it be improved? Well, I've come to the conclusion there are some improvements that can be done here without making it devoid of trees, for sure. And some of the trees do need a helping hand. As we know in nature, trees go through cycles. One species will prosper for a while, and they'll die back and be dominated and colonised by other species. But this is a very strong area for Douglas fir, which again does require some thinning. Anyway, this is just an introduction, just saying that I have focused on this house a lot this year, and I shouldn't apologise for it, because it had become a saga building this place. But I'm not going to be going anywhere this next year, and in terms of I should have much more free time to focus on what I enjoy doing today, and that is putting up some content which may be of interest to people wanting this kind of lifestyle, or people wanting the specific skills to make life in these areas as comfortable as possible, and to understand the environment better than they did at the point of buying the property. Okay, so this is Woodsman Spirit signing off for now. Take care, and please subscribe, please ask questions, and I hope to see you behind the camera very shortly. Thanks.